There are gods among us out there in the MCU. And two of the most powerful? Easy. Odin and Khonshu. Egyptian god of the moon, Norse allfather, god of the heavens. And of course we gotta get them to fight. Of course these two are gonna go at it. But who's gonna come out on top here? Who's gonna ultimately win? Well, that's what we're here to find out. But before we get into it, well, if you think Odin wins, hit the subscribe button. And if you disagree, if you think Khonshu wins, hit that notification bell. Also, go join our YouTube channel membership, where for just $1, you can get access to our Discord and keep this conversation going down there. Also, you can shout out as many video requests on the Discord. We will hear you out for your video request. Join the YouTube channel membership. There you go. Now let's get into it. Now, in the MCU, there is the question of whether or not Odin even is a god.
We are not gods.
The potato, potato. Looks like a god, acts like a god, worshipped as a god. That's good enough for me. This is now a holy fight. And as a god, well, Odin brought peace and prosperity to the 9 realms, but only after he had conquered all of them and forced them to bend their knee to Asgard. His supremacy was unchallenged. He was the absolute seat of power at the cosmos, and he could have conquered more, could have ruled more, only stopped because he wanted peace, not war. On the other hand, well, Khonshu doesn't necessarily want war, but he definitely doesn't want peace either. He wants vengeance.
Make his windpipe!
And he's gonna get that vengeance through his avatar, Moon Knight, making Mark and Steven's lives a living hell in the process. Okay, so truthfully, I haven't seen a ton from Khonshu. Really, only 2 things of note. It's just that one of those things is really, really impressive, so we can put a lot of stock behind it. First up, well, Khonshu is the god empowering Moon Knight. So all of Moon Knight's powers come from Khonshu. His strength, speed, durability, his healing factor, his ability to survive basically any attack in that armor, it all comes from Khonshu. Only problem with that, Odin can do basically the exact same thing. No, actually, literally the exact same thing. He was able to go to Thor, one of the most powerful heroes in the MCU, and strip Thor of all his power, depower him, and then channel all that into his hammer Mjolnir. And only when Thor had learned his lesson and learned his manners would he be able to get his power back. It was like a godly form of timeout. Odin also said that he had conjured an insane amount of power into Hela, using his own daughter almost like a weapon as he set out to conquer the 9 realms. So yeah, Odin definitely isn't winning any Best Dad awards anytime soon. Father's Day might be a little bit awkward coming up. Then last but not least, well, he took all of Surtur's destructive power, all of his Asgard destroying, burned the whole place down to the ground power, and put it into a big breakfast bowl. So when it comes to power bestowal, that sort of thing, Odin has that one in the bag. Odin also has a ton of other powers too. Like for instance, summoning the Bifrost at will. Yeah, I'd say interdimensional travel at the flick of a switch with just a thought. That's pretty impressive. What about the Odin Force? And not just Odin's own power, but also the Destroyer armor. That thing can really pack a punch. And Gungnir. Don't want to be on the wrong end of that spear, that's for sure. He can do some pretty impressive stuff. Of course, then there's Khonshu's other big feat, turning back the cosmos. With the help of Mr. Knight, Khonshu was able to manipulate the night sky in order to reveal what the stars looked like 2,000 years ago. He was spinning the things around so fast that it just looked like a bunch of blurred lines. Now the problem here is we don't know exactly how Khonshu was doing that. I guess one thought would be that he's turning back time when he did this. Turning back time in the sky to those 2,000 years in the past, channeling his inner Doctor Strange. Another thought would be that it was telekinesis, making it the single-handed greatest telekinetic feat we have ever seen. Throwing around that many lunar and solar bodies in the night sky and throwing them so fast they were just blurs in the sky, that's insane. Of course, the problem with that theory is why couldn't Khonshu just move the stars directly into place? Why did he have to go through the trouble of spinning them all around like that? Well, that's when we could circle back around to the time manipulation idea. But I don't think it's a true time manipulation. Because if it was, I guess Khonshu could just reverse Odin to where he's just a baby and take him out that way.
Why don't we just find baby Thanos, and
That doesn't really seem like it fits within the powers that we know Khonshu has. Instead, what I think Khonshu is doing literally right here is manipulating time in the sky. But all of that comes from his moon powers. I mean, he is the moon god after all. We also saw him create a solar eclipse, so that idea kind of falls within his already established powers. And manipulating the sun and the stars like that is really impressive. You could argue that's even more impressive than anything we've seen Odin do in the past. And if you said that, shame on you, because you're really discounting, you're really underselling Odin here. I mean, he transformed Frigga into stars in the night sky during her funeral. I'd say that creating new stars is already more impressive than manipulating old ones. But on top of that, well, he beat Hela twice. Once when he imprisoned her in Niflheim, second time when she tried to escape, and so he banished her to Hell. He beat Surtur, Titan of Fire, Asgard's end. Probably beat the ever-loving crap out of him too. Broke him, left him for dead. Because everyone thought Surtur was dead. That's how bad Odin beat him.
Surtur, son of a bitch, you're still alive. I thought my father killed you like 500,000 years ago.
And until Khonshu does something like that, stuff like that, I'm gonna say Odin wins here. Now granted, I am totally open to being wrong on this one. Moon Knight hasn't technically finished by the time this video comes out, so there's still the chance that he comes back from the grave and does something that would make him more powerful than Odin. But I just don't think that's gonna happen. At the very least, it hasn't happened yet. Odin's the All-Father, most powerful god in the MCU. He's gonna win here. Odin wins. But what do y'all think? Sign off in the comments down below. Who do you think wins this fight? Odin versus Khonshu. Also, be sure, go join our YouTube channel membership, get access to our Discord, request all the fights you could possibly want over there, and be sure that like button, subscribe button, and turn notifications on the FanCo army. Thank y'all so. I love y'all, and I will see y'all next time.